All right. Hello, everyone. I am the embodiment of hibernation, and welcome back to Pretty Damn Good, a series where I look at some of the songs that have come out in the past week or so that I thought were pretty damn good. Now, this week, I don't have a script. I literally made the list of songs that I'm going to be talking about 5 minutes ago. And so, with uh, the cold front coming in, I've just been feeling a lot more lethargic and depressive. I'm completely fine. I'm just sleeping a lot more, so you don't have to worry about me. But yeah, why don't we jump into some of my favorite songs from this week? Starting off with "Bag of You" by Mahalia. Um, isn't really much that I want to say about this song other than I just think the lyrics are very cute. I enjoy them a lot. Probably the my favorite thing about this track are just the lyrics about wanting to see or get more of someone's love that you are already getting some, but not within like a withdrawal sense. It's more just in a I could be comfortable with this for the rest of my life kind of sense. And yeah, I just enjoy the things that this song goes through to really highlight that cutesiness. It's a little bit low key instrumentally, so I can imagine not everyone getting on board with this song, but still, I think it's a great tune. Up next is Basement Party by Sophie Cates. This is a hyperpop song, doesn't even break the 2 minute mark, but still, I just enjoy the way the sounds kind of go from really minute to almost overblowing the mix within the span of like half a second. I also enjoy the way the vocals kind of duck in and out to create the hook on this thing, almost kind of like a Ride by Food House, if that's a song that people still listen to. Um, I yeah, there's also some lyrics about dreams and stuff like that, and repressed sort of like fantasies almost that I enjoy as well. Give this a shot, and if you don't like it, again, less than 2 minutes, so shouldn't be any skin off your back. Uh, Up next is Blank Page by the War and Treaty. This country song is sort of similar to the Bag of You song in terms of, you know, uh, love that's reciprocated, rather, between two parties. But it's a little bit more focused in that both of the people in the duo are songwriters. Their harmonies, for example, on this song are amazing. And so a lot of the love being portrayed here is specifically within a songwriter angle lens. And as a result, I think it's a lot more specific, so it might not be relatable, but even then, it's a great tune. I also enjoy the Dave Cobb production on here. It's a really good country song. Check it out. Speaking of country songs, up next is First of May by Zach Bryan. Zach Bryan has just been on a winning streak for this year with the 30 song album that didn't feel like it was didn't feel like it was 30 songs, felt like something it yeah, the American Heartbreak's great. I also enjoyed the EP, and he's been releasing a whole bunch of singles since then, and this one is no exception to that. I just enjoy the rollick between the sort of the plucking that almost feels kind of more folk than country in a sense, and that last chorus kind of highlights it with those bum bum and the way that it kind of bounces from that to the lines in the chorus. So sorry. And yeah, I just it's another great track from Zach Bryan. What can I say? He's really consistent at what he does. Up next, we have Blood on the Snow by Hozier and Bear McCreary. This is from the God of War Ragnarok soundtrack. I don't know if it's a series or if it's a movie. I don't really watch a lot of television. Ignore what's over there in the corner here. But I mean, that's why it's never on in these videos. But anyways, Uh, yeah, it feels a little bit more traditional in scope, but not like, a folk song, more like a renaissance, not like, modern folk of like, Vietnam and I don't know, indie car commercials. It's more like, Renaissance esque, like folk music that feels a lot more secular, but also more foreboding in its uh, mood and atmosphere than anything else. I especially enjoy the incorporation of the hurdy-gurdy within the second verse onward here, or at least I'm pretty sure it's a hurdy-gurdy. It just the way the strings kind of rub against each other gives me that sense. Either way, it's a lot of very older sort of strings techniques, and Hozier just feels like a perfect fit for this, almost kind of Celt-ish in nature, which he has always been good with that kind of sound in general. And yeah, I give this a fair share, and I guess check out God of War Ragnarok. I haven't watched it, but yeah. Let's see. Up next, we have Contingency Song by Jane Remover. Jane Remover's been put out a couple albums last year that I enjoyed with Teen Week and Fragility. Um, However, this song seems to go against the grain of everything else that they've put out, with the fact that this is more a drone ambient piece rather than digicore, which is their main draw. The way that it kind of drones, it's similar to Blood on the Snow, but it's a lot more synthetic, a lot more, but also a lot more real as a result, just because of the fact that it's not trying it the way it pairs with the lyrics feels especially real. The It's very depressive, and the line about pouring boiling water on a hand and then feeling yourself still is that's yeah, really, it's I don't know. It got me in a mood that none of the other songs this week has. It's probably my favorite from this week. It is a lot to get into. It is 6 minutes, so um I can imagine this not being for everyone. Um However, if you are a fan of Jane Remover, I could definitely see you getting behind this, and yeah, favorite song of this week. Up next, we have Kill Your Masters by ABBATIA and Akin Inaj. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right. But ABBATIA, this is from their newest EP off of, I believe, A2B2 Records, the one that Zach Hill of Death Grips fame has. And you can hear kind of the influence of, well, not really influence of Death Grips, but just sort of that industrial hip hop sound that they've kind of brought to the mainstream in some context or another. Uh, but still, though everyone sounds great on this track, just that, yeah, honestly, the whole EP could fit here. It's just, this one just stuck out to me because of I want to say the last verse on here just goes off the wall. Just it reminds me a lot of what Ghost Main in a sense, but yeah, good stuff. Um, Up next is Loaded by Asake and Tiwa Savage. This is a piece of Afrobeat from two prominent Nigerian artists. Give me one sec. And the thing is, this feels a little, not necessarily experimental, but a little bit more raw, a little bit more passionate, just in the way that the strings on here, I can hear, that rasp on them, similar, again, to Blood on the Snow. And as well, just the way the percussion seems to bounce a little bit more, seem to be a little bit more improvisational in some aspects, and yet still feel clean and tight all the same. And Asake and Tiwa Savage flow on this thing like really well. They feel like perfect fits for this kind of thing, and I can't wait to see what either of them might have in store in the future. Up next is Seltzer by Cruza. Um, Cruza was on the latest Smino album with Euphoria. I think mostly just providing the backing track for that. And if anything, this is more just not necessarily like backing music to your own narrative, but also just the groove on here feels so drunken, low key, yet so pristine in the same way. And I just enjoy that kind of sound all the same. And just that way that bass kind of flows throughout the whole thing is, yeah, a great song. I enjoy it. And finally, we're closing out this episode with Mike by Shake Chain. I found this song while doing my Bandcamp crate digging, and they have a new album coming out in about a week or so. Actually, I think it might be coming out tomorrow. But either way, uh, Snake Chain is a proto punk band. Maybe not proto, that might not be the right word, but punk band from Australia. And Mike is the lyrics on this thing are essentially in reference to a clip that went viral of someone sitting in a stationary car and a woman like on the phone with like emergency services saying, "Mike, he's running me over." And um but it doesn't feel like it's at the expense of that. It's just the way that it everything feels so um like all the emotions of like being overwhelmed of everything and the sight of a lot of not necessarily violence but more in the idea of I don't really know how to explain this song well, but it feels a lot more sincere than you could imagine because the lyrics, other than Mike, he's running me over, feel so incomprehensive and just so almost almost crying in a sense, like genuine crying, not the kind that you would do to make fun of someone who's crying over something petty. And also, it's just a lot of energy baked into this track, and I can't wait to see what Shake Chain has coming forward. And that was all the songs that I wanted to talk about this week. I didn't really think of any honorable mentions, although, in reference to soundtrack songs, I did enjoy, what was it, Born Again by Rihanna from the Wakanda Forever soundtrack, as well as the song. Oh, what was it called? I'm gonna find out right here and now. Uh, da, da, da. No, that is not the right playlist. It was from Joe Jonas and Khalid, the "Not Alone" song from Devotion. That was yeah, that was honestly kind of a surprise. I didn't expect them to both fit that well, or Ryan Tedder to write a song as modally or uniquely resonant as it was. And I guess while I have the playlist up, I want to also highlight the ending by Brockhampton. If not for just kind of seeming as a thesis for the new album that they put out to the family, and probably the one that is coming in about 7.5 hours from now, which that that is also on my mind a lot, the whole Brockhampton thing, because if you haven't noticed, I'm a Brockhampton fan, bordering stan, but I don't want to get into that. But anyways, that was all the songs that I wanted to talk about this week. If you had anything in particular that you wanted to talk about, doesn't even have to be music anymore. I just didn't realize what I was saying. But I would prefer if it'd be music. You can leave it down below in the comments, you know? And yeah, that's basically it. I'm part of the music, and I hope that you have a pretty damn good one out there. I'll see you next time. Yeah.